Hello, everyone. This is Talk for Glory, episode 192. We are 192 episodes deep into Talk for Glory. We are 48 hours removed off of a fun Stardom show. We are, I don't know how many days deep in the G1. We are about a week away from one of the funnest tournaments in Joshi Pro Wrestling. We are not too far along from the 5-star Grand Prix, which I've explained it through multiple people as an easier way of saying the Stardom G1. So if that's how people want to continue saying it, by all means. But it's a tournament. It's Japanese Pro Wrestling. It's Talk for Glory. So you guys already know the host, Enigma V4. I can't do this alone because there's so much wrestling to love, 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 love. Yes, that was a knock at someone. And I have someone new. I've been on his show. I've been on his station. You guys saw it throughout the countdown incoming transmission. So, from Red Belt Radio, welcome to Talk for Glory, Jason.
Hey, Enigma V4, thank you for having me. I feel like everything I know about, or I thought I knew about the 5-star has been a lie. They pulled 10 different rugs out from under me, so I'm going to do my best. Maybe 2 of us is not even sufficient to cover all the insanity, but we're going to do our damnedest.
You're damn right. We absolutely are, and we're going to talk about it block by block, similar to the recent G1s, not this one. It's 4 blocks, so we're going to have, starting off with Blue Stars A block. Whoops. Blue Stars A block. We have a couple people here, so Jason, would you like to take the wheel here and talk to us about the people in the Blue Stars A block?
Absolutely. So the 5-star GP this year, we do have 4 different blocks that are set up. We've got a Blue Stars A, we've got a Blue Stars B, we've got a Red Stars A and a Red Stars B. And it looks like, as far as I can tell, the top 2 wrestlers from each of these 4 blocks will advance into sort of a quarterfinals top 8 after they've wrestled everybody in their respective blocks. So Blue Stars A is looking pretty damn solid. We've got Saori Ano, who is, as of just about a day or 2 ago, the former white belt champion of Stardom. She obtained the Wonder of Stardom championship in December at Dream Queendom and just recently lost it. So we do have major spoilers incoming for anybody listening. She's currently also a Sendai Girls champion because she ended up not only reclaiming her white belt, but also picking up some more gold along the way. We've also got Shuri, the leader of God's Eye, the former Goddess of Stardom champion, who took the belt at the end of June and just recently lost it. That also happened this week. There were 5 title changes in Stardom over the past week, so this has been utterly insane. She also challenged Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP title in January, and she's always a force to be reckoned with. Former GP winner a few years back in 2021. Starlight Kid, now the prominent member of the new faction that was named just a day ago, Neo Genesis. She's challenged for the white belt. She challenged Saori Ano back in February. She made it fairly far into this year's Cinderella, the quarterfinals, and she's got some momentum for sure. We've also got Xena of EXV, who is a current Artist of Stardom champion. She's had that belt since the end of March of this year, and she recently, or semi-recently, I guess, June 22nd, challenged Micah for the red belt in a pretty impressive showing. There's also Koguma of Stars, also a former Goddess of Stardom champion. She secured the belt alongside Hazuki in May of this year to usher in the 3rd Goddess of Stardom title reign for FWC. And then those belts were lost at the end of June. Now we've got someone that is going to be a bit unfamiliar to a Stardom ring, Anna Jay of AEW. And I don't actually know that much about Anna Jay. I did a tiny bit of digging around. I don't think she's had any AEW belts in the past. She has tangled with the likes of Mina Shirakawa. She was accompanying Azumi during some of her entrances when Azumi was here in the States. So she's a bit of a wild card or an X factor in this tournament. And another wild card in the sense that she just qualified for the 5-star is Miyu Amasaki, also of one of the new factions of Stardom, Neo Genesis, formerly of Queen's Quest. She's challenged for the Future of Stardom belt, but she doesn't have much in the way of title accolades. So we have some really heavy hitters in this block. We've got some veterans of Stardom. We've got some more new wrestlers in Stardom, and we've got someone coming from AEW. So it's a very versatile block, and a lot of things can happen with it.
Thank you, Jason. And wow, I couldn't have put that better. There's so many new faces, new matches, new groups, new everything in this block. And it's one of 4. I'm looking forward to so many things in this block. If I had to say my sleeper match, a match that no one's talking about, but you should really keep your eyes on, I think we should be looking at Soriano versus Shuri. That's a match that a lot of people gotta keep their eye on. How about you, Jason?
That's probably at the top of my list. We haven't had a chance to see a 1v1 versus the two of them. And the difference in wrestling styles between them, I think, is very, very interesting. So if I could only pick one most highly anticipated match, I would totally agree with you. Saori Ano versus Shuri. I also want to see Saori Ano versus Xena, because I think the difference in physicality there will be really interesting. And if I could pick almost like a sleeper match or one that I'm hoping will overperform, I would also take a look at Xena versus Miyu Amasaki to see how those DDTs can stand up against those insane chops from Xena.
That is actually a battle that I wasn't even thinking of. It's about the DDTs versus the battle of the heavy hitters. I'm actually, for some reason, now that I'm just looking at the names, I'm curious to see what Anna Jay is like against Starlight Kid. If there's one thing that I've noticed when it comes to just any wrestler in general facing Starlight Kid, it's that not a single wrestler truly has a way to manage or maneuver their moveset around the height, the speed of Starlight Kid. So Anna Jay being I want to say, technical or a grappler, a submission artist, if you will. I wonder how she goes against someone like a Starlight Kid.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of her, but she's obviously going to be larger than a lot of the Stardom wrestlers. She's got very long legs, and she's got some spin kicks and stuff that she throws. So I'm looking forward to seeing that sort of disparity in styles and approach. Hopefully they can make some good matches out of it in the end of the day.
Definitely going to make some magic. Now let's transition into Red Stars A block. And this is featuring the following, which I just found out not too long ago, like maybe 10 minutes before going live, that Natsuko Tora has chosen to opt out, and in her place will be Ruaka. So, spoilers, we have the former World of Stardom champion. That's going to take another 24 hours to get used to saying. But she is still the Crimson Empress, Maika. She is a wild heart. We're still praying to get this girl some singles gold. Hazuki, the last-minute fill-in Ruaka. The out-of-nowhere, subtle, but instant kill submission sniper, Konami. Also, Oedo ties. Welcome back. Welcome back, Konami. Cosmic Angels, Yuna Mizumori. That's someone I wasn't expecting here. The new Wonder of Stardom champion. Representing Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi. And representing Sendai Girls, and I wish I had the clip, Manami, and I don't know if her last name's Fo, but I wish I had that clip. There are so many things I could say about literally every person here. But if I had to take two people here that just take the cake, who I want to say, these are finalists. I truly believe that Konami and Micah will be the two people that we look out for in Red Star's A block. Now, that doesn't mean that the others won't get shocking pinfalls. After all, we have the Wonder of Stardom champion here, Natsupoi. So, if you don't win the 5-star, there's a good chance you might pin the Wonder of Stardom champion. And honestly, if I have to say someone that can pin Natsupoi and hopefully, God willing, gets a Wonder of Stardom championship opportunity, as so many people have been praying for since her return, I think it is Hazuki. How do you feel about Red Star's A block, Jason?
I feel like it's definitely been downgraded since we've learned that Natsuko Tora is not participating in this block and is being replaced with Ruaka. That being said, I actually completely agree with you. If I have to put some money on who might advance from this block, I'm looking at Micah because it seems that they are developing a revenge path for Micah based on what happened last night. Again, heavy spoilers. She got screwed over. And Konami being the other one. And the reason I would highlight Konami here is if you look at all the blocks together, I think the two factions that are being pushed to the forefront, and this is probably no surprise, are the the Neo Genesis faction that formed and announced its name just on the 27th, and this Oedo Tai, or perhaps now being called Hate. I'm not entirely sure on the transfer of power or how that is all formulating, but for simplicity's sake, we'll say Oedo Tai. Both of those factions are heavily represented in these 4 blocks. And so for the sake of statistical probability, we want to expect that some members of both of those factions will be advancing. And I think Konami makes the most sense in Red Stars A, but you're right on the money that part of having the white belt champion in a tournament block is to allow for future title matches to kind of bloom.
As you were talking, I also thought of another person, and although these two had one hell of a tag team match, and I actually want to see these two face each other in Goddess Tag League, I now want to see Manami Fo, if that's her full name, versus Natsupoi for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Those two have insane high-speed chemistry. They've never met in the ring, only in that one tag match between Mika and Manami versus Sori and Natsupoi, which I'm still surprised we don't have an official tag team name yet. But maybe that's a goddess tag. Maybe that's a Wonder of Stardom tag team. God damn it! Maybe that is a Wonder of Stardom championship match that could be happening. But now let's transition a little further back into the blue, as now we're going to be talking about the Blue Stars block. And wow, the participants here, what a fun talk this is about to be.
Yeah, this block is a lot different in my estimation than it was even 24 hours ago. There's definitely a new dynamic in play, and it changes everything. Now, let's go over the members of this particular block, Blue Stars B. There isn't as much gold featured in this block as there is on the Red Stars side. So, with the Red Stars blocks, we have a lot of either newly minted champions or former champions. And in Blue Stars B, it's a little light in that category. But we do have Suzu Suzuki of Neo Genesis, who is last year's 5-star GP winner. She also is a former Goddess of Stardom champion, securing the belt with Mei Seira as Crazy Star at the end of March and dropping the belts in the beginning of May. And following that, we have Saya Kamitani, who, if you haven't been paying attention, is taking another new turn in her career. She is the former high speed champion as of last night, or not last night, as of last night. She is the winner of the Catch the Wave tournament, and she is, I think, the former or the final member of Queen's Quest, the final nail, perhaps, in the coffin of that faction. Hard to really describe everything that happened and why, but Saya Kamitani is now a member, a full-fledged member, as it would seem, of Oedo Tai / Hate, the heel faction of Stardom. She basically cost Micah the red belt last night, and she's going to come into this tournament with an entirely different style and a different dynamic between her and everybody else. She was probably the favorite to win this year's tournament based on the things that happened to her last year, but now all bets are off. We also have Hanan, Cinderella tournament winner of this year, challenged Saori Ano for the white belt in April of the Stars faction. We've got Saki Kashima, former high-speed champion, took the belt at the beginning of April, lost it at the end of April. We've got Rana Yagami of God's Eye as is Saki Kashima, and she got some kind of runner-up trophy or award of some kind in the Catch the Wave tournament, maybe the rookie division or something like that. And she has challenged for the future of Stardom title as well. Now, someone who is actually a champion is Thekla, the Toxic Spider, who is currently a Goddess of Stardom champion with Momo Watanabe, also of Oedo Tai / Hate. And the person that I actually wanted to have in this tournament in the same block as Suzu Suzuki is going to be here. Risa Serra of Prominence. She did compete in the Catch the Wave tournament. She went 1-1 with Saya Kamitani in that tournament. And of course, she did challenge for the Goddess of Stardom title when Suzu Suzuki and Mei Seira held it. So there is definitely an amount of history and a bit of heat between Risa Serra and a couple of the other members. And she fits perfectly in the blue block because that is her color of choice.
That's actually pretty funny. I remember seeing her get announced for blue block and thinking, okay, yeah, this is the only one that makes sense because blue hair, blue Risa Serra, she's blue. But I was also gonna say that I love that Suzu Suzuki is in this, and I believe I said this last year during Goddess Tag League that you can take Suzu out of Prominence, but you can't take Prominence out of Suzu. So I don't think we're done between Suzu and Risa quite yet. And wow, these last 24 hours, hell, maybe even 12 hours, 15 hours ish. So many predictions. If you guys are also doing your 5-star GP predictions today, let us know if your predictions got turned and landed on their neck after what happened. I'm curious, I'm angry, I'm heartbroken at what Sai Kamitani is going to do next. I'm looking forward to how Hanan does. She's Cinderella, for God's sakes, so hopefully she has some of that Cinderella good luck. Ronnie Yagami may be a fill-in, but I like to call her Baby Shuri, just because I believe Shuri can just show her entire moveset to Rana, and that's going to be Rana's whole shtick for the next 5 to 10 years. And Saki Kashima, I call her, she's not the best, but she is the smartest wrestler, because don't you dare sleep on the Kishi Kaisei, because that comes out of nowhere. Dare I say more than an RKO. And if there's one thing I also have to notice, it's that Thekla is in this, but there is a strong lack of idols. So who knows? Maybe Thekla goes to the finals to reach an idol across the board.
That's an interesting prediction for this block. I really, really, really just throw my hands up with trying to figure out who is going to advance. Like I said, I do think that the emphasis in this tournament is going to be on Neo Genesis and on Oedo Tai Hate, whatever they are being called, whatever they consider themselves. So I think one of the two of Saya and Thekla will definitely advance. I'm actually leaning more Saya advancing to the quarters. Before all this happened, I had a completely different read on who was going to get through, and I thought it sounded kind of cool in my mind, but I'm dropping it. So I'm actually leaning Saya and Hanan advancing to the quarters, and Hanan getting at least out of her initial block, because she hasn't done that in the past in the GP. Her first two GP attempts, or at least her last two, were very, very, very poor showings. And I know she had obviously about the best Cinderella run you could have, but I think that she'll get a little bit of a better performance here. So I think I'm leaning Saya and Hanan getting out of this block in particular.
Those are some pretty good predictions, and I would love to see Cinderella herself make it into the semifinals because I think I'll add that name in too, just because I have a headcanon that probably won't happen, but it's good to lie to yourself, especially for these tournaments. But now we're going to transition into the Red Stars B block, and I saw this block and I thought, yeah, I am going to have a field day. One moment. Hey, Jason, feel free to talk about Red Stars A block.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Well, to me, if we're going to pick any one block that is a block of death, I think it's the Red Stars B block. I mean, there are no slouches across the board populating all of these different groups, but Red Stars B is just a nightmare if you were in it. We've got just down the line either current champions, former major champions, and people who are just either going to soccer kick you or chop the crap out of you. So Mayu Iwatani being first, the icon of Stardom, has held the IWGP belt since April of 2023.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. I was just talking about Mayu up front and how I consider this to be the block of death in this tournament.
Oh, you are absolutely right on that part. But wait, where the hell is it? Because if there's one thing I love doing when talking about Stardom, it's pressing a certain button. But like you said, Mayu is how long she's been IWGP World Champion now? Like a year and some change.
Yeah, that's right. Over a year, because she got the belt in April at All-Star Grand Queendom 2023.
Damn, what a time! But right, she's our Stardom icon. She's our IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. She's basically the main character of Stardom. Speaking of being a main character, who else is in our block? The main character of the Cosmos, the leader of Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano. She is the former World of Stardom champion. Surprisingly, still hasn't gotten a rematch. Wonder why. Then we have I can't call her the Queen Reaper anymore. There's all the queens are gone. So dangerous with a wrench, dangerous with a bat, dangerous with her kicks. Momo Watanabe, the Black Peach. And then we have the new high-speed champion from newly created faction Neo Genesis, May Sierra. Then we have the jacked, heavy, hard-hitting Mountain Green Gorilla, Saya Ida. Then we have the just tap out women's champion Tomoka Inaba. So I haven't watched enough Just Tap Out, but I've seen enough Tomoka Inaba to know that if Shuri needs a right hand woman and it's no longer Konami, Tomoka Inaba might just be the second best option. And I left this person out on purpose. And I need a new intro. And you guys know here on Talk for Glory, we are not scripted. So this is fresh off the head. So now it is the absolute future. She's the girl we love. She's the girl that we're hoping she goes far. She's the girl that we're happy she's found a home. Whether you're Athena, whether you're Mercedes Monet or Sasha Banks, whatever the hell you guys want to call this girl, please say her name correctly. Her name is not AZM, you fucks. It is, and I may as well say it, maybe your next World of Stardom champion. It is... Damn, I love doing that.
I was hoping and waiting for that. I was hoping and waiting for that button to be pushed. I'm going to be on Talk for Glory. You got to have the button.
Damn right. But, oh my god, I love this block because we have never gotten Azumi versus Tomoka Inaba. We're getting Mayu Iwatani versus Tomoka Inaba. Will we finally get a winner between Mayu and Tam Nakano? Will Azumi finally put Momo Watanabe in the back burner, finally putting all behind her? Is May going to speed blitz everybody? That is all good questions. There's so many things here. There's so many matches here. There's so many questions to be answered. But who do I think is coming out of this block? I guess this is my bias talking. It can either be Azumi or I think it can be Mayu Iwatani. How about you, Jason? Who do you think comes out of this block? Maybe one or two people.
Yeah, it's a really good question. And this kind of gets down to brass tacks and gets down to the question of what is this tournament going to ultimately achieve for Stardom? And I feel like in the Red Stars, both A and B, we have two people that could potentially make a big play, a big climb to try and reach the top of the mountain and challenge Natsuko Tora for the red belt. And one of those people is in this block. So my picks to advance are, I mean, you hit the button. I can't even resist the power that you've just unleashed upon the internet. Azumi is one of my choices from Red Stars B, but I'm also leaning Tam Nakano, the Cosmic Angels leader, the top kawaii of the cosmos. And the reason I say that is I'm really trying to look at what Stardom did with their Cinderella tournament this year. And they had a great tournament across the board, a lot of great wrestlers, good matches. But then they singled in on one person and they tried to tell almost like a career spanning story for that person. That in that case, it was Hanan facing people from her Future of Stardom past, facing the former Cinderella tournament winner, facing some of her rivals. And they have a chance potentially to do something like that with Tam Nakano. She's obviously facing Mayu here, which is a big deal for her. And it's somebody she's never really truly been able to overcome. I'm not saying she's going to, but that's been part of her persona. That's been part of the story of Tam Nakano. And we'll see another chapter of that here. So I've got Tam and Azumi advancing. And a couple of the matches I just want to highlight that I'm really excited about. Obviously, Azumi and Mei Seira doesn't really need a lot of prefacing. Probably the two fastest wrestlers in Stardom, two of the best high-speed wrestlers that Stardom has to offer. I also want to check out Mayu Iwatani versus Mei Seira because there aren't a lot of conditions for the two of them to have a singles match. So this tournament is the perfect opportunity. And then lastly, I'm looking forward to Momo Watanabe and Tomoka Inaba because they both kick hard as hell, and I've got to see that happen.
Dude, you're just naming these matches, and I'm excited for the 5 star. It's almost making me forget last night's 48 hours fiascos. If I have to just sit here and look at these matches, I do think that Saida is our sleeper, and I think she's gonna bang out an incredible match against Mayu. I think she's gonna give us an unexpected classic with Momo Watanabe. But if there's two matches that I'm actually looking forward to, it has to be Azumi versus Tomoka and Naba. It's the battle of the O2 generation. Yes, we have our May Sierras, our Starlight Kids, our Suzu Suzuki's, but when we're also talking about young prodigies, we also bring up Tomoka and Naba. And I think, along with getting May Sierra versus Azumi and Suzu versus SOK, I think Tomoka needs to fight some people also from her generation. And Azumi is just a part of the long line that is waiting for Tomoka. And I also think that, well, actually, Mayu Iwatani versus basically everyone in her own block is the must-see match, because one of the main marquee things in Stardom is I want to surpass Mayu Iwatani. There's no greater sign of surpassing her than beating her in the 5-star Grand Prix, winning the 5-star Grand Prix, going to Dream Queendom, winning the World of Stardom Championship, and then maybe, just maybe, you have surpassed the Stardom icon. And also, just like with Natsupoi, if any of these people don't win, we do have the IWGP Women's World Champion here. So maybe we might get a match here or there. Maybe we might run back Azumi versus Azumi versus Mayu. Maybe we might get Tam Nakano versus Mayu. Maybe we might get Mayu versus Tomoka and Naba for the IWGP World Women's Championship.
That's another one to put a spotlight on, is definitely Mayu Iwatani versus Azumi, because they had a Korakuen Hall match. I think it was to celebrate Azumi's 10th anniversary or her birthday or something like that. And they went
both.
balls to the wall. It was both. Okay. So I'm really, really super excited for them to lock up again.
Okay, so now, similar to other tournaments here on Top of Glory, let's ask the $1 million question. Normally there's 2 blocks, so luckily we have 4. Let's get to some fantasy booking. So we have 4 blocks here. I'm going to ask you the question. If you can give us one person in each block from anywhere, from WWE, AEW, TJPW, and anywhere, Impact Wrestling even, who would you add into the 5-star Grand Prix each block?
Okay. It's a little tougher to choose which block to put them in. And I am going to cheat a little bit, because Risa Sera was one of my picks, even when you and I were talking back in April about this. So I'm just going to lock her in where she's at, because I think that makes the most sense. Now, if we move up from the Blue Stars B block where Risa Sera is, and we were to drop somebody in, I think the person I'd go with for this block in particular, I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit. So for Blue Stars A, I think I would actually drop in Haruka Umasaki from Diana, because she's got some backstory with Starlight Kid, and she's very good at selling and telling a story in the ring. And I think a lot of these people in here would match up good with her, including Miyu Amasaki, including Xena just being this almost like overwhelming physical force. Same with Anna Jay. I think Umasaki and Koguma would be kind of a fun, more entertaining match. And then there'd be no shame in her dropping some matches to people like Shuri or Sauriano. So I'll throw her in there, and I'll take the person I was going to put in Blue Stars A. I'm going to put this person, I think, in Red Stars A. And that's Mio Momino from... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got this all mixed up. My Red Stars A pick is Miyu Watanabe from TJPW. I know it's kind of like an unrealistic choice. I don't know that could ever possibly happen.
It's fantasy booking. We're putting whoever the hell we want here. Are they
Okay.
active? That means they can be in here.
So we've got one of the strongest physical forces. I'd love to see her match in strength against people like Micah. And then if you just look at everybody in Red Stars A, I think there's something in terms of personality or character or wrestling style that lines up well with Miyu Watanabe. And then I'll drop Mio Momino in the deep end and throw her in the block of death in Red Stars B from Marvelous. She's lightning fast, so she can have incredible exchanges with Azumi and Mei Sarah. And she's insanely good at selling, really, really charismatic and energetic. And so she's going to be able to throw down with everybody in this block and make it memorable.
Those are 3 out of 4 picks. You're down to the last one. We've got Blue Stars B. Who's going in here?
Okay, so I can't lean on Risa Sarah. I got to kick
She's
her
already
out.
here.
Huh?
She's already punched in her number.
Oh gosh. All right, well, let's do this. Micah got screwed. Micah lost her championship. Micah is on a serious downturn, and not even Mina Shirakawa is in this tournament to help her out. She's basically on her own here. So she needs to call on an old friend. Let's throw Megan Bain into Red Stars B to try and get some revenge on behalf of the Empress.
That is an awesome pick. And Megan Bain was just here in New York literally 24 hours ago, so that's awesome that you said her.
Nice. Oh, that's very cool.
Okay, so now going back to Blue Stars A, who would I like to see here? There are some energetic, there are some strikers, and then there's stoicism at its finest. Yeah, I would not mind seeing, and this might be a wild pick, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Rosemary from TNA or Impact Wrestling here in the Blue Stars A block. Just because let's add some horror into the stoicism that is Soriano. Let's strike more fear that is a human fighting machine that is Shuri. And I think Starlight Kid and Rosemary might kick ass. And who knows, maybe Rosemary might scare Koguma. And then let's transfer into the Red Stars A block. If I had to give this block someone, it has heavy hitters, it has wild hearts, it has the energy. I'm actually going to go down the TJPW rabbit hole as well, and I would love to see Miyu Yamashita. I think her and Konami would have an insane striking match. I think it would take 2 skull candy kicks to put down Hazuki, and you get the $1 million question. Who's hitting harder, Micah's clotheslines or Miyu's kicks? And then if we scroll down into Blue Stars B block, where we have Suzu, we have Saya, we have Hanan, we have Ronnie Agami, we have Kashima, Thekla, Risa Sarah. Someone fun, I think, that would kick ass in this is, and this might be a crazy pick, I would love to see a Becky Lynch in this block, in Blue Stars B block. Now, I think Becky Lynch is a versatile wrestler, and this block has versatile people. And I think depending who she faces, you get a different side of Becky Lynch. Maybe you'll get technical, maybe you'll get the grappler, maybe you'll get the submission artist, maybe you'll get the man. Personally, I would also love to see Thekla versus Becky Lynch, but that's my bias talking here. And then if we scroll back down to Red Stars B block, viewers, watchers, maybe you guys predicted I was going to say this. Who would I love to see facing Mayu, Tam, Momo, Zumi, Mei, Saya, and Tomoka Inaba? Well, you guys already know she just defended and retained her Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. She is the champion yesterday. She is the champion today. She is the champion tomorrow. She is the champion forever. I would love to see Athena in the Red Stars B block. So those were all great fantasy booking people. And I'm honestly looking forward to, if maybe Taro Kata's listening to this, maybe someone from Stardom is listening to this. And, maybe some of our picks might get chosen next year or the year moving forward. But out of all of them, I really would love to see Athena in the 5-star Grand Prix. Hopefully next year. How about you, Jason? Out of everyone you've said, who would you just be dying for to be in the 5-star next year?
Oh, wow. So just like begging and pleading to get somebody in?
Yep, who's your number one? Like, if they said, all right, you only pick one instead of 4, who's the one?
Wow, that's really tough. I think if we just want to drive people nuts and get the hype through the roof, we definitely got to go Miyu Watanabe. I think match quality could be her, but Mio Momono, I seriously think she can hang with almost everybody in Stardom and do something really cool.
All right. Now, before we go into the final bits of this, let's read some comments. Also, we've been very active, so thank you everyone who's joined Talk for Glory. Thank you everyone who's been commenting. Twilight, I love seeing you here, man. The Coat, String 6 Splash. Yes, sir. Cashman, love seeing you. Keem, love seeing you, dude. Albert, you know I was looking forward to this. Despite what's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours, I was looking forward to this. Bima, what's up, man? Frank NYC, I don't believe you've been here in the comment section, so welcome to Talk for Glory. Let's see. Death knows there are 2 things that are eternal taxes in God. Mokonaba is going to show out in this block. A lot of you guys love the Azumi button. I love pressing that button, and I will make sure any way possible to bring up Azumi. I see a lot of Azumi lore in the comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed the 5-star Grand Prix predictions. You guys already know what to do. When it comes to Talk for Glory, you guys know to follow the socials. So you guys know to follow Young Smooth at Young Smooth TFG on his Twitter, Enigma_B4_ on my Twitter, Enigma_B4 on my TikTok, Enigma_B4 on my Instagram, Enigma_B4 on my Twitch, Smoothie on his Twitch, Enigma_B4 on my Kick, the gaming website, guys. Remember, guys, where there's a wrestling podcast, there's Talk for Glory. So follow Talk for Glory on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Podbean, on YouTube especially. I'm pretty sure YouTube's allowing podcasts. So if there's YouTube podcasts, Talk for Glory will be there. You guys know to follow us there. Jason, where can viewers, listeners, everything in between follow you?
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks for chatting with me today about the 5-star GP. This past week in Stardom is one of the most insane, unpredictable weeks that we have seen in recent memory. So there's still a lot more to be talked about. If you want to check me out, String 6 Splash is the name of my channel on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter, String 6 Splash. The word string, the number 6, the word splash. I'm the host of Red Belt Radio. You can just search for Red Belt Radio on YouTube. Should be able to find it. And please, please, please be sure to tune in tonight for a live stream I will be hosting with the legendary Meerkat Ultra. We're going to be talking more about the 5-star GP. We are going to be talking about all of the utter chaos that has been loosed upon the world of Stardom. That will be at my YouTube channel, String 6 Splash, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to be there.
And with all those things being said, it's time for the $1 million question. Who do we have going into the finals? So there's 4 corners here. So let's be fair. Let's be real. Starting off with B block, I believe the winner of Blue Stars A block, my bad for the mistake, will be Shuri.
Okay, Blue Stars A. Let me take a look at my little bracket here that I had to completely rework. So everyone take these predictions with a grain of salt because there hasn't been much time to process the tournament, let alone anything else that has happened in Stardom. So for the Blue Stars A, is that what we're talking about? Blue Stars
Yes,
A.
we
I'm
are.
gonna hope that's where we're at.
Yes, we are.
I have the 2 people making it to the quarters from Blue Stars A being Starlight Kid and Shuri. And I'm assuming once we get into the quarterfinals, A and B are going to face each other because everyone in A is already wrestled. They've already
Yeah, I believe
taken
so.
each
I
other.
believe it's supposed to go Blue Stars A block versus Red Stars B block.
Oh, really? Oh, that changes
That's what I'm
everything.
thinking. It's either that or it's A versus A.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
We'll
I'm
figure it
gonna
out.
have to rework this, but I had Starlight Kid and Shuri getting out of Blue Stars A. I had Saya Kamitani and Hanan getting out of Blue Stars B. I think I said that.
Yeah.
And then from there, narrowing into the semis, I had Starlight Kid and Saya being the 2 people to make it into the semis. But that was assuming that Blue A was facing Blue B. So I
Maybe
don't
it
know what I
is.
got going.
Maybe it's like A versus B, like Red Stars A versus Blue Stars B.
It could be, but historically with the 5-star, Red and B don't cross until the very end in the finals. That's the only reason I'm a little skeptical.
This is why I hate when they do the 4 ways. But
Let me read something real quick because I have a little translated blurb about
yeah,
this.
let's get a translation so we're not going to be stuck and confused here.
I only have it going up to the quarterfinals. It says the top 2 competitors from each block will advance with a total of 8 competitors moving on to the quarterfinals. I don't know what happens after that.
Okay, whatever happens there. So I'm just going to assume it's Blue Stars A versus Red Stars A.
Ooh, okay.
Like that's just going to like
So you're
ease my
saying
brain.
it's possible for the GP final to be 2 people from the same color block?
No, I'm saying that. Oh fuck! Wow.
This
Okay,
is already breaking my brain.
same. Okay, so I'm thinking about it like how they did it in New Japan. So I'm thinking that they're gonna go with um Blue Stars A will face Blue Stars B, and Red Stars A will face Red Stars B, and then Blue versus Red will face each other in the finals regardless.
Yeah, that seems to be the cleanest way to go about doing it.
Yeah. Okay, now my head feels better. But yeah, so I have Shuri winning Blue Stars A.
Okay, I've got Starlight Kid, but I have Shuri being right there in contention, just behind her.
Not a bad pick, man. So next, we would have to say who's looking at her from Blue Stars B. And if my pick is Shuri in Blue Stars A, it should be only right that she's in for the fight of her life in going after Suzu Suzuki. So Blue Stars A and B facing each other will be Shuri versus Suzu Suzuki, a 5-star Grand Prix rematch.
That would be an excellent rematch, and that was one of the most highly acclaimed 5-star matches from last year. So it would make sense for them to revisit it. So the only reason I don't have that, because I did have that lined up before Saya Kamitani's turn, is I started thinking about it a little more, And Suzu's last 2 GP runs have been insanely strong. And Hanan's last 2 GP runs have been, I don't want to say insanely weak because that's a little demeaning, but they have not been strong at all. And so I think they might cool off Suzu in terms of the GP and let Hanan get another good showing because she's been pretty cold post her white belt challenge.
Oh, I agree.
And I think they're
minus last
tuning
night.
her
Last
back
night what
up
she did was
now
pretty
that,
huge.
right, exactly. I think that's the beginning of them winding her back up and building a story of maybe she'll get to face Tam. It'd be something for people to watch, is that maybe Hanan will go the full route and be able to face Tam on the other side. But I have Hanan and Saya in blue B, and then, gosh, this is so convoluted. Saya and Hanan advancing to blue B, Starlight Kid and Shuri advancing in blue A, and then and so that way you run back Starlight Kid and Hanan, which they keep facing each other over and over and over, and you have Saya and Shuri facing each other. So you have somebody who was screwed over by the heel faction versus somebody who has been doing the heel turn and the cheating. And from there, the blue block sort of final, A versus B, I think they'll run back Starlight Kid and Saya Kamitani.
Ooh, that's an underrated, appreciated match.
And so depending on what happens in red block, I'm not sure which one of them makes the finals. But maybe we'll just talk through our predictions and I can figure this out. But I think the finalists from the blue side will be either Starlight Kid or Saya. And that's just off of me scrambling to try and figure this out after the bombs have fallen and all of Stardom has been laid waste.
Yeah, like it's gotten nuked and we're just looking for survivors at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so from your finals and my finals, I believe that between Suzu Suzuki versus Shuri, the winner will be Shuri, so she will be in the finals representing Blue Stars. And then on the Red Star side, A versus B. You can go first on this.
Okay, so let's figure this out. So we already talked about, I think we both have Maika and Konami advancing in Red Stars A, and we talked
Correct.
about you have I think you said Mayu and Azumi advancing in Red Stars B.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Maika and Konami in Red Stars A, and then I have Tam Nakano and Azumi advancing in Red Stars B. And so with those 4, I think the 2 people that make it to the finals of Red, or the semifinals of the tournament overall, are Maika and Tam Nakano, because they've been every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, they've been teasing the 2 of them facing each other. So this year's red belt champion versus the prior red belt champion who never officially lost her belt. And both of them are being put in a position where, for Tam Nakano at least, like, she hasn't had a lot going personally for her in terms of achievements. She's been more of a support role for her teammates, where Maika has just been at the pinnacle and she's been pulled all the way down to the basement, to the lowest place she can go. So I'm not sure what they're crafting, but I think one of these 2 people are essentially going to be the symbolic person that is going to ultimately take on Natsuko Tora after this tournament is resolved. So one of these 2 are my pick to make it to the finals of the whole tournament. And if Maika is the person, then I think she faces Saya Kamitani in the Grand Prix finals. But if Tam is the person, I think there's a off chance that she faces Starlight Kid, because she was the one that kind of saved or jumped in and tried to protect Starlight Kid when she was dropped from a Oedo Tai and attacked. So I can see either a Maika Saya final and then one of either a Tam Starlight Kid or Tam Saya final. And I just can't make up my mind. I can't figure this out. I'm leaning more towards Tam, though, because they did a rapid revenge, get my belt back story with Sauriano already. So I don't doubt that they can do it with Micah. But I think for the sake of actually making something feel a little less forced and a little less rapidly employed, they might do this Tam thing. Going back to the Hanan Cinderella, Tam is facing all these people that are important to not just what's going on in her current story, but her career. She's facing Mayu Iwatani. She's facing the successor of the red belt lineage in Micah, and then across the ocean on the other side, she's either facing former Stars sort of alum Starlight Kid, the person she's tried to mentor, the person she wanted to join Cosmic Angels, or she's facing Sayakami Tani, the person that took the white belt from her. So let's say Tam and Saya in the finals, and this also mirrors the opening night of last year's Grand Prix, the match that didn't get to be finished. We got the opening night of last year's Grand Prix echoing back and becoming the final night of this year's Grand Prix. That will be my official choice.
That was a lot I wasn't thinking about. A Tam versus Saya rematch from last year, the match I didn't finish. And now I might be on your side now, but I have an agenda that I've been pushing for the past 2-3 years, and it's going to keep pushing. So, on Red Stars A and B, I've already said that I think Azumi is going to be the one to walk out of her block on the B side. Now, on Red Stars A side, I do think that Micah is the one that walks out of that one. Just for the simple fact that I believe that Micah is on the grind to get her belt back. But I am also inclined to say that Azumi has waited so damn long. And I think that it's time that we finally stop playing games. The girl has beaten just about every previous red belt champion aside from Micah. And Azumi has one of the best winning records against one of the best of Stardom in Shuri. So I believe that the finals will be Azumi versus Shuri.
That would be an amazing match. They have had such killer Grand Prix matches together. That's an excellent choice.
So we've set our finals. So now, who wears the crown? Who wears the cape? Who walks away with the trophy?
Well, I think I know who you're choosing. I guess I'll lean Tam Nakano to be the one person to rise from the devastation and try to challenge the ultimate villain. At least was what is intended by Stardom's booking, I think, to craft the ultimate villain and try to have someone rise up and challenge them. So I think they're going to opt for either Tam Nakano or Micah. Based on how I laid it out, I'll lean Tam Nakano on that.
Tam Nakano wins this year's 5-star Grand Prix. So you guys are, the viewers know, everyone that's going to be listening to this is obviously going to know that I have an agenda to push. I need the agenda. I need the agenda to happen. I've waited too damn long. If you're a part of the Azumi fandom, Respect Empire, whatever the hell I have somehow deemed a following, you guys know who I need to win. Whether she pins, maybe she submits, maybe she knocks out. She beats Shuri. Ladies and gentlemen, your hopefully 5-star Grand Prix winner, not AZM, obviously. Yep, I have the agenda to push, guys. I have a button to push. So, Jason, one more time, thank you so much for being here on Talk for Glory. I had fun telling you my predictions. I had fun hearing your predictions. I love the comments. You guys are active as hell. And I'm looking forward to hearing your live stream with Meerkat. And what else do we have to hear about these last 24-48 hectic hours? And I hope you guys are looking forward to the 5-star Grand Prix as much as I am, as much as Jason is. And if you guys have predictions, feel free to comment them down below as well. Jason, is there anything you want to say before I send us off?
I just want to thank you for hitting the Ozzy button not once but twice in this broadcast. That definitely lifted my spirits. It's strengthened my resolve in these difficult times. So yes, thanks everyone for listening. Please check out the live stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern with Meerkat Ultra. And yeah, talk to you guys soon.
All right, guys. So I want you guys to already do what you love doing. I want you guys to drop a like, drop a sub, stay safe. Hope you guys are okay after these 24-48 hours. Be happy for the new champions. Be sad for the former champions. Enjoy the 5-star Grand Prix. And most importantly, what Talk for Glory says, and I hope you guys listen, enjoy wrestling.